We read all day Sunday before the game, and I'm thinking, Art, this is a motivational thing. This is a way to get the players to play. Was that part of it or not?
Well, I think sometimes, Georgia has this football mentality where he likes to play the boss, which is fine. He's certainly entitled to it. It's been a great boss. But at this particular time, after you're down 2-0, especially coming back as we did from the deep hole that we dug for ourselves early in the year, we certainly didn't need motivation.
And I said to myself, because nobody will listen, I said, after that, I said, if I'm Joe Torre, I just say, all right, thank you very much, George. You know what? I'm taking a hike. Did that ever occur to you to just part company altogether because of that episode?
Well, I think a lot of things they've built up. And, at the time I went down to talk to them in Tampa, Brian Cashman, our general manager, asked me, he said, are you going down to make a deal or say goodbye? I said, I don't know. And I went down and presented things I felt I wanted to say, and when I saw there was very little reaction to what I had to say, I knew I was down there to say goodbye. And it had nothing to do with the money. I mean, sure, they cut my salary. I mean, $5 million is still a lot of glue. I want to tell you that.
A lot of glue.
That's a lot of money.
A lot of glue.
But the fact of the matter is, I felt if I went on a one-year contract, we'd go through the same thing.
Yeah.
Every time you lose 3 games in a row, they're going to question if you're going to be back tomorrow.
Well, now that brings up an interesting point, interesting to me at least, offering you a one-year contract, and like you say, the gun is really at your head. However, now when the new guy comes in, Joe Girardi, it looks like now, they're going to be saying, oh, you got to be patient, you got to be patient, you got to be patient. So you can't have it both ways.
Well, I think that's the right thing. I mean, I think, Joe Girardi is a good man, and he was a coach for me, he was a player for me. He's got a feel for this organization. But again, what I had, again, we won 4 of the first 5 years, and I think that spoiled everybody. There's no question.
Everybody does that, for God's sakes.
2001, we're trying to win our 4th World Series in a row. We're in Arizona, and we have Game 7. We have a 1-run lead in the 9th inning, and we lose the ball game. I remember going to spring training that following spring, and I'm signing autographs at our spring training camp, and this Yankee fan comes down and he says, gee, thanks for the autographs. He says, we'll do better this year. Well, you had the 1-run lead in the 9th inning of Game 7. And then you realize the expectations were enormous at that point.
It doesn't make sense that you couldn't come together here. What would you have accepted? The 1 year you got limiting, would 2 years have done it?
I think the 2 years, and the reason for it, and again, it wasn't the money aspect of it. It was the fact that if you know you're going to be there for a year, and I just felt that it's a lot easier for the players, instead of having to answer the questions on my status all the time. It's tough enough playing in New York with all the distractions that go on, without the built-in one of a manager that's going to manage for his last year.
Okay, we'll be right back here with Joe Torre, everybody.